As I often say, get woke, go broke, while fun is not an absolute. It is not law. It just is kind of a tendency. There are many stories where somebody tried to get woke and then they went broke. But perhaps this has more to do with them not understanding wokeness and just doing it wrong, as opposed to actually just making something that is woke and it's succeeding. I think get woke, go broke has more to do with people messing up their project than it does injecting certain narratives or ideas. But I do believe there is a tendency, and we've seen it many times, that when you embrace this weirdo far left stuff, you lose money. Case in point, Seattle. Why Seattle just got woke and went broke. Well, I mean, Seattle was always fairly woke, but they went over the top. Check it out. Due to Seattle's unrest, $1 billion investment firm is moving to Phoenix. Wow. Sounds a lot like what happened in New York with Amazon and AOC and her stupid ideas chasing out this massive corporation. They ended up losing anywhere from 25 to 40,000 jobs. Now, what I love so much about that story is that they reelected AOC in the primary. Man, that's amazing. Democrats really have no idea, do they? Even Cuomo was critical of it, but this dude's bending the knee to the woke left, so there you go. Look, getting woke and going broke, I think, has more to do with the execution of wokeness as opposed to the wokeness itself. So that's why I think you'll see many examples of getting woke working and many examples of getting woke not working. So a good example, one of my favorites, is the Into the Spider-Verse movie, where Miles Morales is the main character. You had a diverse cast, Japanese, Afro-Cuban, etc. And it was a perspective from a young, inner city kid, son of a cop, and his uncle was a criminal. I thought it was interesting. I thought it was done really, really well. The older Spider-Man guy who helps him out, middle-aged white guy. Diversity was in this film. People of different colors working together. It wasn't jammed down your throat. It wasn't preachy. It was just good characters. It was their perspectives. And that's how you do woke in the right way. I love it. I absolutely do. The problem with all this social justice stuff is when it's done the wrong way, like CHOP. We don't need to abolish police. We just need police reform. There's a right way to go about solving these problems. They're not doing it the right way. But because the left doesn't know where the line is, they go insane. And you get 4 shootings in 3 days, and then you lose $1 billion firm. So yes, when you get woke, you tend to go broke. Maybe that's the way to solve the problem. Absolute power tends to corrupt, and absolute power tends to corrupt absolutely. The tends is the important word. Get woke, you'll tend to go broke, right? Here's the story from My Northwest. Coronavirus pandemic or not, an investment advisory company is leaving the cultural unrest in Seattle and moving its headquarters to Phoenix's Camelback corridor. They said specifically, the unrest that has taken place in the city of Seattle, there really is not a downtown business community today. Smead Capital Management President and CEO Cole Smead told KTAR News 92.3. Smead said that although taxes in Seattle are lower, candidate recruitment is harder and the cost of living in the city is more expensive than Phoenix. We're hearing rumors of 40-story buildings that will be only 20% occupied by October. My biggest concern for Seattle was what the business community is going to come back to and what kind of businesses are going to come back for customers. He found that Metro Phoenix offers a better quality of life. My colleagues can pick the socioeconomic rung of life that they want, live their lives, build their households, and have a family if they'd like. Where we're coming from just wasn't like that. Smead added his employees will take precautions to protect themselves from COVID-19. As of May 31st, the firm managed approximately $1.58 billion. Congratulations, Mayor Jenny Durkin. Not only have you now presided over 4 shootings in 3 days for your summer of love, but you've lost a $1.5 billion firm because you've decimated your own city. Okay. Decimated's a bit strong. The city exists. I'm sure they'll get by. But like New York, these woke policies result in just destruction and damage. And New York City really needed those jobs. They really did, because that was a lot of tax revenue. Let me explain it to you, First of all, setting up a headquarters there means they're going to be spending a lot in tax money. They're going to be spending a lot of money that will be paid in taxes. When they pay their employees, they have to pay an employment tax, which is like around 10% or so for each of the employees. So much money would have gone into the New York City economy they could have used to fix their infrastructure. But thanks to progressives like AOC, hey, you get woke, you go broke. Hey, New York, you had your chance to vote for a moderate centrist like Michelle Crusoe-Cabrera, but they didn't want her. So be it. You know, what's funny is the systems have become so large, I don't think they understand why things are broken. So they see AOC whisper sweet nothings in their ear, and they accept it as the true way to solve the problems. They wonder, why is it our trains aren't working? And AOC says, if you vote for me, I'll fix the train. And they're like, okay, vote for her. She'll fix the train. There's no money to fix the train. Hey, nobody's going to go and fix the train. It's so easy to win an election whispering sweet nothings into people's ears, and that's why it keeps happening. And now you have Seattle. You have this mayor who's like, we don't want the police involved in this. Dude, it's 200 people. Okay, it's 200 people down there. All right, get the cops, tell them it's time to go, and just make sure you don't have the cops firing tear gas at people. Just have them walk through and arrest people. It's that simple. You see, New York doesn't use tear gas for the most part. They do. I think they do pepper spray for sure. So it's a colloquial thing. But they don't have the canisters of CS smoke, the irritants. They just march through, they wrap people up, they put them on a bus, and they arrest all of them. You can complain about it, but if people are breaking the law, it's better than tear gassing them, right? Well, the mayor could have done this, but she chose not to. Now several people have been shot, and now you're losing business. But it's worse than that. I love this story right here from Seattle Times. From June 24th, today, they say, virus pummels commercial real estate, could end long boom. It's the virus. It's the virus, you say. Okay, you know what? The virus pummels commercial real estate. I'm going to stop you right there. Okay, I will agree for the most part. That makes a lot of sense. But could it be, I don't know, something else happening in your city that is contributing to this? The long fall. Look, to be fair, yes, the coronavirus has shut down a lot of businesses, but the governor still has the opportunity to reopen things, and they don't want to do it. And now we're seeing that all of the narratives about coronavirus has reemerged. Look, they're doing the quarantine again. New York cops will stop cars with out-of-state plates and impose fines of up to $10,000 on anyone who doesn't stick to a 14-day quarantine arriving in tri-state area from coronavirus hotspots. Well, there you go. It's back, baby. COVID's back. Look, whatever. At this point, you had all of these people protest, and at first they started saying it was resulting in an uptick, and now they're making excuses to say that it wasn't. I'm just so sick of the hypocrisy. I don't care. I just really, really don't care. But let me tell you something. While the virus is playing a role, we now know that so is the unrest. How could anyone expect to run a business when you have people roaming the streets, smashing windows, regardless of who it is or what their business is? They don't care. So when I see commercial real estate plummeting in Seattle, I roll my eyes. I say, you know what, man? Many Republican areas have remained partially opened. And what's the news been? An uptick in cases? Hospitals are back to elective surgeries, man. I don't know what you guys are talking about. We know the death rate now is 0.25%. Very it's a bad flu at this point. So what do you want me to say? Am I supposed to get outraged again? I think we pretty much weathered the storm and things are returning to normal. Where are the businesses? Well, you destroyed them. You completely destroyed them. What this management firm said is they don't know what the industry will return, the business community will return to. And I think it's fair. The quality of life is going to be awful. The infrastructure costs are going to be static, but the people who have the tax money to pay for them will be gone. When this company leaves and the tax money they generate leave, the cost of all of the infrastructure of roads, of electricity, of the electrical infrastructure, phone infrastructure, it remains the same. You know what this means? It means the cost goes up per person who lives in this city. So here's what I think you'll see. As things continue to get worse in New York and Seattle, and you don't have a strong, responsible personality to tell people, listen, to fix these problems, it may actually feel like it's getting bad. We may need to cut taxes in certain areas, raise taxes in certain areas. We may need more law and order and more people. We may need these jobs from Amazon. And these may be things that are a net negative in some ways. They will slowly heal and be a net benefit. You don't get that. Instead, what do you get? AOC drives out Amazon through protest. And yes, she led those protests. And then when everyone's complaining about how bad things are and there was a real solution, she will just say something nonsensical, as they will in Seattle. People are going to now start protesting because things are getting worse in Seattle. Why is my water bill going up? Why do I have to pay more in taxes? Why are the parking meters going up? And they'll say, because we have to pay the costs for them. They'll try and keep the costs down. Then public sector employees will start getting angry, saying, I need a raise. You can't cut my pay. I need more money. Then the left will protest again, saying austerity measures are not acceptable. You can't have your cake and eat it too. Pay more in taxes, or stop paying public sector employees and fixing infrastructure. And that's when the collapse happens. You need growth. You need people coming in and spending money to maintain the system, and you're driving them away. And when they're all driven away, Seattle will become like Detroit, and there will be crime. And they've already brought the crime to them. So this is the result of your policies. At a certain point, someone needs to tell you, I can't give you health care. I'd like to, but I can't do it because the resources have to come from somewhere. It's a pipe dream. Instead, you get the progressive saying, we can pay for everything. Okay, you know what, man? You can't. And it'll only make things worse. And now we can see it happening in Seattle. Congratulations on losing $1 billion firm. I wouldn't be surprised if many smaller business and smaller startups says we're going to avoid Seattle. And there you go. You reap what you have sown and you deserve what you get. I'll leave it there. I'll see you all tomorrow on this channel at 10 a.m. Thanks for hanging out.